Well, hey, everybody, and welcome to the Youth Ministry Mentor. I'm your host, Tony Wolf, and today I want to give you a free resource that I hope will make your life just so much easier. You can see it. It's on my bulletin board right here, and it is my yearly calendar. And so I want to give this to you for free. You can find the link in the description below, and then we're going to hop into my computer, and I'm going to show you exactly how I use this, and it's going to make a world of difference, and I hope it's a blessing to you. Okay, so here we are in my 2025 calendar, and let me just tell you the thing that I love about this so much is that this calendar will print on one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And so that's my favorite thing about this. It gives me at one glance, I can see my whole year, my whole calendar. I print one of these and put it on my bulletin board in my office at work. And I also print one for my bulletin board. I have one in my office at home as well. So just at any moment, I can just glance at it and I know where I'm at and I know where I'm going. And so I think this is just a huge, awesome tool to have, and it just makes my life so much easier. But I want to walk through how I plan the calendar. And maybe you can learn some tips and tricks along the way, and this will make your life super easy. Well, not super easy, but a lot easier because you've got things mapped out and you know where you're going. So the first thing I do when I look at my calendar, I got this blank calendar here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark off all of my blackout dates, all of my Sundays that I know I'm not going to have youth group. You can see that this is color-coded, pink for Sundays. If you do Wednesday in programming, that's super easy. You just change the colors and you're good to go. But for us, it's Sunday nights. We meet from 5 to 7 o'clock. So, January, we're good. February, we're good. March, we're good. April 20th, we have Easter. And so what I'll do is I will just make it literally black. I'll black it out. We'll make the text white, and I'm just going to say Easter. All right. So we're not going to have youth group that day, holiday for us. Then over here in May 11th, we are going to have Mother's Day. So I'm just going to put Mom's Day. So, and then going over to June 15th, we have Dad's Day. Okay, Father's Day. And then in July, for us, now this won't apply to everybody, but you might have special church events that you have. For us in July, we do a special event called Celebration in the Park, and we have our church worship service at the local park in the pavilion. And then afterwards, we have a big meal and inflatables and pony rides and face painting and all kinds of festivities. But that's like kind of an all-day thing. It's a big deal. And so we probably won't have youth group that night. And so I'm going to black out this. For us, that's going to be Celebration in the Park. So, and again, you might have special activities at your church that are unique to you. And then for us, let's see, we're pretty good the rest of the year. But we also typically will have a children's Christmas play. Now, my teen youth ministry is 6th through 12th grade, but we have a Sunday night Christmas play that the elementary age kids are part of. That happens on a Sunday night, and we don't have youth group that night. We just encourage families and teens to go and support that. So this year looks like it's going to be on December 7th for our Christmas play. So we'll just put in play, and we won't have youth group that night. Now, also, you guys can decide what you guys want to do with Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Thanksgiving weekend, and depending on how Christmas falls, let's see, this year looks like Christmas is going to fall on a Thursday. So you can decide whether you want to take off that weekend and take some time off there or not. It's up to you. But for us, it looks like these are the dates that we are definitely not going to have youth group for one reason or another. So I mark all of those off. So I'm good to go there. And then the second thing that I'll do is there's going to be some nights that we have a youth meeting, but it's not typical. It's special event. And so for us, we always have a Super Bowl party. So February 9th this year was the Super Bowl. So we'll make this light blue color. And so we'll call this Super Bowl. That's going to be a fun night. We are going to have a meeting, but it's not a regular lesson. It's not typical. That's going to be a fun night. Drop that in there. And then let's see, what else do we have? For us, the first Sunday after school lets out for our kids, I always host at my house a cookout. Just a fun night. So cookout, that's going to be the first Sunday in June. And then, let's see, I think the only others, there's two more. So we always have a youth Christmas party. So that's going to be the Sunday before Christmas, probably the 21st. So we're going to put in, we'll call it Xmas party. So Christmas party, fun night. And then recently, just the last couple years, we started joining up with a couple other churches. And at the end of the year, it's not on New Year's Eve exactly, but this Sunday to Monday, we do a overnighter. So overnighter, and we rent out like 3 or 4 different places. We do a little worship thing, and then we go do all these fun things. We go bowling, roller skating, all kinds of different activities. And so that's going to be a special event. And those are the only ones that I know for sure. We're definitely are going to take up some time on my calendar. So that's looking pretty good there. That's the second thing I do. And then there's a couple other things. Let's see. We have to drop in. We always do a summer mission trip, which is almost always the second week in June. And for us this year, it's going to be the 8th through the 14th. I'm going to make this yellow because why not? And so we will put in here mission, learn how to spell, trip. Mission trip, that's going to be that week. And then we also have our summer camp, which for us is going to be the 22nd through the 28th. So we'll make that yellow. Summer camp. So these are the things that are kind of out of my hands. Now, technically, I could decide to do these or not do these things. And technically, the only one that really would be like kind of really in my control would be the mission trip. I can decide what week we're going to do that, but that's what works best for our kids and their sports and activities and school and everything. That week just works really well for the majority of the kids. School lets out and summer stuff hasn't quite picked up yet for sports too much. So that week's pretty solid. So summer camp's going to be decided for me. Holidays are decided for me. Super Bowl's decided for me. Christmas play is decided for me. This overnighter, if we do that with the other churches, is going to be decided for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop all that in there. That's kind of out of my control, and that's fine. These are all great things that we're going to do. And now, the other thing that I'd like to drop in here, you might want, if you have access to your school's calendar, there might be significant things that you might want to make note of. At our local school, they have a prom is a big deal. So I might want to mark that on there when prom is going to be, because that could affect my kids. It doesn't really, honestly, because it's a Saturday night, and so attendance might be down a hair on that next Sunday, but not a big deal. And then there's another semi-formal dance that they do called the snowball. Isn't that cute in the winter? So I could mark those things, but the one thing that I do want to mark down is spring break. It's just good to know. And so for our kids in 2025 this year, it was March 23rd. This whole week was spring break. So I'm going to mark this in here. And again, this might not affect your kids at all. It might not change anything for you, or it definitely might change for you. If you know, hey, our kids all go away, they're all on vacation, they leave town. It's a terrible week. Attendance takes a nosedive. Maybe you still want to hang in there and have youth group. Maybe you want to plan a fun night because you know kind of attendance won't be so good, or maybe it doesn't affect you at all. But I like to put spring break down just so I know that I might want to think about what I do on those Sundays and how that might affect my group. So again, you might want to go through that school calendar and see if there's any special events, special things that happen on weekends or holidays, long weekends that might affect your programming. But I don't put a whole lot of stock into that too much. Okay, so now those kind of things are marked off for me. The next thing that I like to do is I encourage you guys to have some kind of a curriculum, which in another video we'll talk about how to pick a good curriculum or create your own. It's not as hard as you think, but we're going to kind of have a game plan of how we're going to fill in the rest of these weeks. And I highly recommend, I really, really recommend a 3 to 5 week series. I think 4 is just perfect. A 4-week series works really well for us. 3 and 4 weeks are great. If it's a really in-depth one, might stretch it to 5. Kind of steer you away from doing a 6-week series. I feel like that just gets long. If you can break it up, if you're going to do a 6-week series, I would encourage you to think about doing 3 weeks and then breaking it up and then finishing out with another 3 weeks. It kind of gets pretty long, I think, in my opinion. 3 and 4 week series are kind of the sweet spot. 5 maybe if it just really works out well. So with that in mind, the other thing that I like to do in my group, again, this is very generally speaking, is I like to do a fun activity roughly once a month. Now, that doesn't always happen, but, around 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, I'd like to just do a fun activity, just break up our routine, gives a little break, and it's just a good fellowship time, hangout time, fun time. Sometimes they have some purpose behind them. Sometimes they're just for the fun of it, and that's totally cool. But I kind of have these fun nights in my back pocket, and I'll show you why that's important. So I'm going to start with January, and I'm going to just look at how many weeks do I have. So I know I have the Super Bowl party, but I'm going to have 5 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 weeks that I can play with. I can do whatever I want here. And so, maybe a 5-week series would be great. We kick off the year. Actually, what I would probably do, what I would do is maybe this first week, this would work out good for me. I would do New Year's. We're going to do a New Year's, a fresh start, New Year's one-off, and I'm doing that on purpose. I'm going to do a one-off New Year's theme, and then that's going to give me a 4-week series after that, and I'm going to go to my curriculum that I'm working with. I got some ideas, and I'm going to do a 4-week series called Rhythms. Oops, I just took the date right off of that, didn't I? Let's go put that 12 back in there. So we're going to do a 4-week series called Rhythm. I cannot spell. Rhythms. I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to drop this in here. Boom, boom. I'm not going to take this. I don't want to waste your time. I'm not going to do this the whole entire calendar. But look, we're going to do a 4-week series called Rhythms, and then we've got a nice little convenient break there. Super Bowl party, fun night. We bring all the food. We watch the game. Actually, most of the kids don't watch the game. I try to watch as much as I can. Kids play games, board games, card games, run around the house. It's a blast. So then we got our fun night. Now I'm going to look and see. We got, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 weeks until spring break, and I have to decide what I'm going to do. If this is going to change anything on this first week of spring break, I actually happen to know this year, 2025 that I'm going to be on vacation that week. My family's going to go away for spring break. Now, that doesn't mean I'm canceling, but I'm going to have one of my volunteers run youth group that night, and I'm going to ask her to just do a fun night. So it's a little less work for her. We'll come up with some games. We'll come up with something fun. And so that I know is going to be a fun night. I'm going to go ahead and just put this in here as a fun night. Okay, so if that's a fun night, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in between there. So again, now I can decide, what do I want to do with that? Do I want to do a 5-week series? I could. That wouldn't be too bad, considering it's bookended by a fun night, Super Bowl, party, and then a fun night here. Maybe we do a 5-week stretch in there. That would totally be an option. If I didn't want to do that, I could think about doing another fun night, or maybe I want to do a service night. That's an option. So maybe we do the Super Bowl party. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud here. Maybe we come in here and we do a service project, and then we do a 4-week series. Okay, so our next 4-week series is going to be called Can I Be Sure? And it's going to be talking about doubt. We'll do a 4-week series on doubt. How's that work? Perfect. So I'll drop those in there. And again, I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole rest of the calendar here, but that would be how I would finish this calendar. I would look at, okay, how many weeks do I have in a row here? So then after that, I'm talking, let's see. So this is a Sunday here. We'd have 1, 2, 3 weeks before Easter. Perfect. So maybe I do a 3-week series. Then we take a break for Easter. Then we have 1, 2 weeks, and then Mother's Day. So do I want to do a 2-week series? I could totally do that. Or maybe we do a 4-week series. We just have a break there for Mother's Day. So 1, 2 weeks break, 3, 4 would take us. That would actually be perfect. And then it's going to take us up to this cookout for a fun night. So I'll probably do a 4-week series there. 2 weeks after Easter, Mother's Day, finish it up with the last 2 weeks. And then there's the cookout. Now we're into summer, and then you plan your summer. So that's how I would fill this whole thing out. And then just the last thing I'll say about this is I don't have to have every single lesson planned in great detail. And that, like I said, that will be for another video. We'll talk about curriculum, but I'm just dropping in my ideas. I know I'm going to do 2 weeks on this, 3 weeks on this, a 4-week series on this. Those are just the general ideas. And I also know that I have a good variety. I'm gonna cover a lot of different topics, which is highly beneficial. So I'm gonna map that out, put all of those topics in, and then I'll do the grunt work later. But I have a roadmap here in front of me. I know exactly what I'm doing, how many weeks I'm doing it, and I can see it at a glance. So when my wife says, "Hey, what's going on? What's the plan?" I can easily look at this calendar and say, oh, it's going to be a regular youth group that night, or it's going to be a fun night. I know. And important thing to mention, when you look at this whole calendar on one page, you can see your busy seasons. So I can look at this and say, I know, boy, June, is going to be a busy season. We're going to have this cookout at our house. Then we're going to have a mission trip. We're going to have Father's Day. That'll be a nice little break after the mission trip. Then I have a week off and I'm gearing up for camp. I just know June's going to be busy. But then I can also look and see where my seasons are that I'm going to be a little lighter. I have a little break. Things are just very consistent, very normal. And that's going to help me in a huge, huge way kind of live my life, so to speak. I can look and say, I know I can handle this busy season because I see it coming. It's not going to sneak up and surprise me. And I might even mark this somehow. I could color code it again and say, I know, and I can let my wife know, I can let my kids know, I can let my pastor know, my coworkers, this is going to be a busy season for us. And that's going to be okay because I see it coming and I can be ready for it. I can prepare myself for it. I can get ahead of the game and make that as easy as possible. And then in some of my lighter seasons, I can see I'm going to have some time here. So how can I use that to my advantage? Either I can use that for rest and just kind of getting some rest and regroup, or I can use that to my advantage to plan ahead and get ahead of the game so that when I come up against those busy seasons, it's not so crazy. So these are just some thoughts. Again, I'm going to send you over to our Facebook page. If you look in the description of this video, you'll see a link and it'll take you to a blank document. It's going to be this exact document with the dates already filled in for you. I'll give you 2025, a blank document that you can use for the remainder of this year. And I'll give you a 2026 one all ready for you to go. All you have to do is save it to your computer, open it up, and you're ready to plan out your whole year. Print that thing out, hang it on your bulletin board, put it somewhere. You can pass it out to people. You can give it to parents if you want, coworkers, youth leaders, helpers. It's just going to make your life so much easier. And then one final thing I'll point out is over here, you'll see this little updated section. Every time I make any changes, I just go here and I put the date in. So I don't know, say it's the, 5/5/25. And then I just know this was last updated, right there on the 5th day of the 5th month. So, that way, if I pull this up and I make tweaks or changes as the year goes on, because that might happen from time to time. You have to make a couple little changes. I will know when this was most recently updated. So I hope this is beneficial for you. I definitely hope this makes your life a little easier, a little smoother. It gives you a roadmap as you look forward through the rest of the year. And I'll leave you with this thought. Even though we haven't met in person, I want you to know I love you, but not nearly as much as Jesus does. God bless you guys.